Jeff Bezos is building a giant clock in a mountain. Your Prime purchases fund a neonatal kitten rescue. And Amazon.com never shamelessly rips off the product designs of its competitors. Hi, I'm Greg. The clock is in Texas. Smile has donated more than $200 million to charities like ones that save newborn cats. And unfortunately, someone on Amazon's product development team is just a Xerox machine with a mustache. Knockoffs have long plagued the world's largest online retailer. But I'm not talking about Folexes, couch bags, and Jer Ordens. I'm talking about lower stakes ripoffs of things like office supplies and backpacks that don't carry much street value. Believe me, I know. Counterfeit goods are a huge business, making up more than 3.3% of all world trade. And between oven gloves, baby food, umbrellas, bird feeders, lightning cables, Birkenstocks, and whatever else was on your wedding registry, thousands upon thousands of phony products from Amazon have already been sold, shipped, and stolen off our collective porches. Now, it's not just that feeding your infant tainted baby food isn't much of a Prime benefit. Brands like Nike take intellectual property quite seriously. And after Amazon was overrun with Nikkei knockoffs, they took their ball and left the site in 2017. That's why in 2020, Amazon launched its Counterfeit Crimes Unit, enlisting former federal prosecutors, investigators, and data nerds to spearhead the worst Dick Wolf spinoff to date. But as they dust robots for prints and run employee piss bottles through a comprehensive DNA analysis, Amazon needs to muster up some serious self-awareness, because the call is coming from inside the box. Imitations of name brand products are incredibly common. They're known as white label or private label goods, which are manufactured by a third party and sold by another company under its own brand. You've probably had Dr. Pepper, Duracell batteries, and Lysol wipes on your shopping list at some point, only to settle for a money-saving alternative bottle of Dr. Thunder, Kirkland's Signature AA's, and nice disinfecting wipes. Nice. It's a nice business. 1 out of every 5 products sold is said to be from a retailer's own brand, and there's nothing inherently wrong with giving consumers choice, or at least the illusion of choice. Don't tell the captain, but Trader Joe's pita chips are actually just Stacy's pita chips. Sorry, Stace. Amazon started playing with privates in 2009 with the launch of Amazon Basics. It began as a simple line of essentials like HDMI cables before expanding into additional product lines, including food, furniture, and clothing. Now, the issue here isn't that Amazon is making its own private label generics. It's that Amazon is shamelessly duplicating products of all shapes and sizes. Now, the company has long maintained that it's simply following the standard retail industry practice of offering products inspired by broader consumer trends. And in the rare circumstance in which things are nearly identical but just different enough to avoid patent infringement,
ours goes ding 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 diggy ding 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 ding.
It's probably just a coincidence. In 2010, a tripod company called Pirate Trading, which scours the 7 seas for stable land, sold millions of dollars worth of camera accessories on Amazon. And in 2011, Amazon released its own version of those trendy products as Amazon Basics, which were basically identical, down to the very same design and manufacturer. And over the next few years, Pirate's tripods were repeatedly banned from being sold on Amazon due to authenticity issues, presumably because they infringed upon the design of an infringed design. Not that it mattered. Amazon's versions were sold at such a low price, Pirate Trading's owner claimed that it was cheaper for them to buy Amazon's version, repackage it, and resell it, rather than manufacture their own original version in some sort of bizarre steamed hams business model.
Delightfully devilish, Seymour.
A similar thing happened a few years later with an aluminium laptop stand to match your aluminium MacBook.
Aluminium.
For years, tech accessory maker Rain Design had a best-selling laptop stand that sold for $43 on Amazon. And in July of 2016, Amazon released an Amazon Basics equivalent for half the price, both of which are far more expensive than a pile of books you can't bring yourself to throw out, even though you probably should. Now, if ripping off small accessory makers seems like small potatoes for one of the world's largest companies, you're wrong, and they'll have those potatoes at your doorstep in 2 hours. But Amazon's willing to imitate larger, well-established companies as well. Here's Amazon's Allbirds, Amabirds, Allazons, Amberzods, whatever. You're not going to wear socks and your feet will smell terrible. In this instance, the CEO of Allbirds took the episode in stride and even used the opportunity to urge Amazon to rip off their sustainable manufacturing processes while their fingers were still hovering over Command-C. Amazon is also willing to target its fellow conglomerates, like millennial homepage West Elm. Here's their Orb chair, And here's a completely different chair from Amazon's Rivet furniture brand. Coincidentally, they both came to the same conclusion that an orb has a flat bottom. This one was so blatant, Amazon was sued by West Elm's parent company, Williams-Sonoma. Their lawsuit stated that it is implausible that Amazon could have conceived of a product line with nearly identical product descriptions other than by intentionally undertaking to copy the West Elm product line. The lawsuit was settled in 2020, and Amazon's chair is no longer available for purchase. I'm afraid you'll have to sit somewhere else. Using data to create and sell products is not unique. An IBM survey found that 62% of retailers use data and analytics to gain a competitive edge. But because Amazon sells far more products than a traditional retailer, they're able to gain the upper hand through the sheer amount of data that's generated on its platform, like product search terms. Let's take a look at the Away suitcase, the best way to tell the airport that you listen to a podcast. Away purposely doesn't sell their products on Amazon because they prefer to own their customer data. But Amazon knows that searches for Away suitcases are popular on its site. So they offer up their own strikingly similar Amazon Basics suitcase, down to the logo in the upper right-hand corner. One says I'm a ripoff, one says I got ripped off. But third parties that do choose to sell on Amazon generate tons of data, like insights into how long someone looked at a product page before deciding they didn't want to buy it. Much of this third-party seller data is supposed to be proprietary, and Amazon claims that employees are forbidden from using this information to develop competing products. But in congressional testimony, Jeff Bezos admitted that
I can't guarantee you that that policy has never been violated.
Maybe it's happened. Perhaps it's happened. There's a small chance it could have happened. It's not impossible. It's happened! And an independent Wall Street Journal report found that Amazon has, in fact, used this data to create its own competing products. They used information about which product categories are worth competing in, which features are worth copying, and how much to price something. In the example of the Fordham car trunk organizer, Amazon employees peeped on product sales and marketing information before introducing their own solution to too much junk in the trunk. And in what's perhaps the most egregious example of all, besides this, Amazon's not even doing a good job of covering its tracks. Peak Design's $99 Everyday Sling became Amazon's carbon copy $32 Everyday Sling, down to the very URL. After Peak Design released a now viral video highlighting this, making light of the fact that, yeah, they're both the same thing, Amazon did the right thing and changed the URL while keeping the product up for sale. In November, European Union regulators hit Amazon with antitrust charges regarding their dual role as a marketplace service provider and as a retailer on that same marketplace. They stated that the conditions upon competition on the Amazon platform must also be fair and that its rules should not artificially favor Amazon's own products. In the US, antitrust experts believe that it's a classic case of owning the rails. Amazon is both a necessary infrastructure and a competitor within the infrastructure they own. Now, speaking as a very cheap Michael Cera, Chris Martin, and Jesse Eisenberg knockoff, I understand what it's like to be a watered-down alternative to the real thing. And I'm not saying that I don't want Amazon to make its own products. I love getting 18 packs of Presto paper towel delivered to my one-bedroom apartment because I'm too lazy to walk one block to the Rite Aid for some Bounty. But due to Amazon's sheer size and the necessity of its service, they can look at any product category, suck up some data, and crush the competition in an instant. Nike might be able to afford to get by without them. Executives can even make a pretty penny just by funneling inventory to their kids' Instagram accounts. But if you're a small or growing company, relying on Amazon is often a necessary evil due to the size, reach, and convenience of its platform. One possible antitrust remedy would be to sever the Amazon marketplace, where the third-party sellers list their products, from Amazon altogether, eliminating potential conflicts of interest. And even though this would mean that third-party sellers couldn't hawk their wares as they do today, at least they would know that creating a bestseller on Amazon wouldn't immediately turn it into a bestseller for Amazon. Of course, splitting up parts of the company like that would likely require some sort of government intervention. But if Amazon really wanted to step up and do the right thing here, they could always lean into their natural instincts by copying another successful concept from their very own founder: an amicable divorce.